Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing on this morning, this beautiful Friday morning? I pray that all is well. I pray that everybody is having a good day thus far. Um, those of you that don't know me, my name is Quint Jones, and I am here because I decided to do some readings of my book. One of my books is called The Art of Forgiveness. It can be found on Amazon. If you type in Aquintas Jones, that's Aquintas, Aquintas Jones, Aquintas Jones, you will be able to find the book on Amazon. I decided to go ahead and do some readings of my book. This one, like I said, is called The Art of Forgiveness because there's a lot of people that is dealing with unforgiveness, and um, we really don't know how to forgive. We don't know how to forgive because it's easy to throw something under the rug, or easy to repress something, or easy to just, put it down. It's easy to just put it down um, in our repertoire and forget about it. So I decided to go ahead and do some readings from the book so that we could discuss it. Those of you that want to get the book, I would greatly appreciate it. And we can, if you have questions or anything like that, I pray that God will give you what you need in this season. Because a lot of times we hold on to grudges, and we don't need to hold on to those grudges. We have to understand that forgiveness is for us. Forgiveness is not for anybody but us. And we give people power over our life when we walk in unforgiveness. We give people power over our lives we say, um, when we say, listen, I'm going to hold this and I'm going to hold on to it tight. And they change our demeanor, they change our attitude, they change our character. Nobody deserves that much power over your life. Okay? Nobody deserves that much power. So I'm going to go, we're going to start with the foreword, and then I'm going to go to the first chapter. I'm not going to be up here long, but I pray that this touches somebody. I pray that somebody gets saved, set free, and delivered. It's all faith-based. I pray that somebody let some things go that you've been holding on to for a long time. And I pray that y'all reconcile with your loved ones. Whoever hurt you, whatever that hurt was, I pray that you're able to let it go so that you can walk in your liberty, so that you can walk in your freedom. So, with that being said, we're going to start with what is forgiveness. Forgiveness, in a psychological sense, is the intentional and voluntary process by which one who may initially feel victimized undergoes a change in feeling and attitude regarding a given offense. Let's deal with that for a second. It's you volunteering to give up that offense. You are no longer being the victim. You are no longer holding on to that grudge. You are no longer holding on to that hurt. You're no longer holding on to that pain that someone has put you through. You are literally letting that thing go. You're maturing, and you're saying, hey, this can't consume me any longer. I choose to release this pain, not because he told me to, not because she told me to, but because I made the choice to. I made the choice to say, hey, I don't want to be hurt no more. Hey, I don't want to feel like a victim anymore. I don't want to feel like somebody has control over me. I just don't feel like this is my life and it's not moving any further. I'm stagnant in this. It's consuming me. This is all I could think about. Why did this person do this to me? Why wouldn't this person let me be a kid? Why would this person touch me in this manner? Why would this person cuss me out like this? Listen, we have to make a choice to not be victimized. We have to make a choice to not feel sorry for ourselves. We have to make a choice to let that thing go. It's for you, not for them. It's for you to walk in your freedom. I had to do it. So I can't tell you to do it and I didn't already do it. So it's so important for us to make a choice regarding the way we feel. Not allow anyone to control our feeling, but to have control over our emotions. And we overcome negative emotions such as resentment and vengeance. I no longer want to get back at this person. I no longer resent this person. Resentment is a strong word. Just like we tell our children, hate is a strong word. Don't say it. Having resentment in your heart against somebody, that's a strong emotion. We don't want to have resentment against anybody. So we need to make the choice. We don't want to get back at that person. It's easy for us to say, oh, I'm going to get revenge. No, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, and I will repay them. There's no need for you to try to get revenge after that person when God is going to deal with that person. So let's think about that for a moment. And if this is for you, I want you to say ouch and amen and move forward, because God don't come to condemn, he comes to convict. And we all go through something. We all go through something. So the psychologist defines forgiveness as conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they deserve your forgiveness or not. Regardless of whether they deserve your forgiveness, you should still forgive. And you saying, but they did this to me and but they did that to me. You still need to forgive them. Because once again, it's not for them. It's for you. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean condoning or excusing the offense. Now let us deal with the word forgive. From the biblical standpoint, the Greek word translated as forgive in the New Testament, aphiemi, carried a wide range of meanings, including to remit, to leave something or someone alone, to allow, Jesus, to allow an action, to leave, to send away, to desert, or abandon, and even divorce. Listen, yes, we allowed this person to do this, but we still have to choose to let it go. That does not mean we have to reconcile with the person. That does not mean the person still has to be in our presence. We can be cordial with that person and keep it moving. That does not mean you have to build a relationship again with that person. But you do have to say, okay, I choose to not harbor this in my heart anymore. I choose not to hold on to this. Because 9 times out of 10, you don't even remember what that thing was. And guess what? Sometimes we have to let the person go. Whether that's our husband, if they cheated, they hurt you, they messing around with somebody else, they got their side chicks, whatever it is. Divorce is allowed in the sight of God if your husband is cheating. Now you have to choose if you want to let that person go. But if you tell them you forgive them, every time you feel a certain way, you can't bring that thing back up. Because guess what? If you're saying, I forgive you, I'm not going to hold on to this, I'm going to move on with my life, I'm going to move on with you. As long as you keep bringing that thing back up, it's going to fester. It's going to cause confusion. So your marriage is not going to work anyway. So if you got the mindset that I cannot handle this and it's going to continue on, then you need to let it go. You need to not be around this person. If you have the mindset, I just want to get even, then you did not forgive. And you need to let it go. And yes, hurt takes time. Forgiveness is a process. It's not going to happen overnight. But you can start the process of letting go. You can start the process of saying, this is too much. So Lord, I give it to you because I can't handle this in my own strength. But I can turn it over to you, knowing that nothing's impossible for you. Knowing that you won't put more on me than I can bear. Knowing that you told me to cast my cares upon you because you care for me. Knowing that you said, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, and I will repay them. And you can keep your standard. You can stay in character. You can keep that same demeanor and don't allow them to bring you out of your character. Because when you allow that, you give them power. Take your power back. Now is the time to take your power back. Now is the time for you to walk upright before the Lord and saying, nobody's going to control me anymore. Nobody's going to manipulate me anymore. This too shall pass. So notice I said to forgive and not make amends. Just because you forgive someone does not mean you have to hang out with them. And I just said that. It simply means if you walk in a room and they are there, you can be cordial. You can speak. How you doing? And keep it moving. And your attitude will not change. So you'll still keep that same smile on your face because that person is in your presence. So that attitude, that person can no longer control your emotions. You can still have a good time with your friends when you walk in that room. You can still continue to laugh. You can still continue to smile. You don't have to leave the room because they walked in it. And you like, I just can't be there with that person. No. I paid my money to come up in here and I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to give you the time of day because you are irrelevant in my life. So why will I give you that much control? We're talking about forgiveness here. Why will I allow you to control me? That's a form of control. They looking at you some type of way and your first response or your first reaction, it's not even a response, it's a reaction. Your first reaction is to jump bad. Like, I'll knock your head. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep that smile on my face. Because guess what? Me keeping that smile on my face is going to do what? make you more mad. So now I got the control. Me keeping that joy in my spirit and that peace, ooh, Jesus, that surpasses all understanding. Me knowing that God don't like ugly, and if you do bad to me, he's going to take care of it. The battle is not mine. So yes, I don't have to give you power over my life anymore. I will no longer give you power over my life. I thank y'all for viewing. Those of you that are with me, I thank y'all for staying with me. Listen, it's so important for us to take our power back in this season. Okay, you are simply taking your power back from individuals and things. Nothing and nobody should have control over your life to the point that they change your entire attitude. And I already gave you the example. When you walk in that room, you with your friends, y'all having dinner, and this person walk in the room and now you got an attitude. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get out of here. And they don't even see you. This irrelevant person don't even see you and don't even know you mad. So you're the only one that have the attitude. You're the only one that's missing out. Everybody else having a good time. But you're the only one that's acting a fool because you couldn't let it go. And you don't even know what it is. Because it's been so long. So you don't know what it is. Let it go. Is this you? All you could think is, that person embarrassed me. And I'm going to get him back. Your friends is trying to calm you down and telling you it's not worth it. But you are still acting up. Why? It's not worth it. Your whole mindset changed. You can't do it. You can't stay there. You can't enjoy your meal. You're not listening to your friends. You're not listening to your support system. And you haven't been out in a while. You have not. You always got your kids. You haven't been able to hang out with your friends, or you're always at work or at school, and you allowed this person to ruin your night. So now you right back at home bored. Just bored. You done sent your babysitter home. And your evening is messed up. Is it really worth it? Was it really worth it? That was too much power for you to give that person. It was too much power for you to allow somebody to ruin your day. It wasn't worth it. And the sad part is the person didn't even realize that you was in the restaurant. So they never acknowledged you. You were the non-factor in their life. And they don't remember what happened. You're the only one looking like a fool. So why allow that to go on? Tell me, how did that benefit you? How did your anger benefit you in that instance? Was it really worth it? Let's think about it. The person moved on with their life, and you're still harboring unforgiveness. Why? Why? Sometimes the person is sleeping in their grave, and you're still harboring unforgiveness. The person is not even on this earth anymore. Is it really worth it for you to hold on after the person has gone on and didn't even know you were upset. They didn't even know they offended you because you never told them. Was that fear to the person? Was it even fear to you? Sometimes we are our worst enemy. I just want to give y'all something to think about. And I thank you all that's coming in. Once again, we're going over my book, The Art of Forgiveness, that can be found on Amazon. So we're going to go into chapter 1. That was just the foreword. And chapter 1 starts with an assessment. And I'm just going to ask y'all some questions, and I want you to think about these questions. And if they pertain to you, you don't have to answer it. You could if you want to, but you don't have to answer it. But the first question is, are you experiencing a burst of anger? And if so, in what areas? In what areas? Are you petty and impulsive? Let's think about that. Because I know I could be a petty Betty sometime. But are you petty and impulsive? Are you able to take responsibility for what you're feeling? That's a good question, because some of us, we have no control over our emotions. We just react. We don't respond. And there is a difference. We immediately react when somebody does something that offends us, or we immediately open our mouth instead of taking time to think about that thing and responding in an appropriate manner. We react. So, are you desperate to make the people that hurt you understand your feelings? Let's think about that. Because sometimes you're like, I just need to have a conversation with them. I just need them to understand where they hurt me. Why? Because a lot of times when you have that conversation with the person, guess what? They still don't understand or don't see what they did, or they don't see it from your perspective anyway. So if that person did not understand your feelings and never apologized to you, can you move on? Or are you going to continue to hold on to it? Are you dwelling on a situation and or waiting on an apology? But how is it going to hinder you if that person never apologizes? Think about it. If that person never says, I am so sorry I did this to you, how will that affect you? How would that make you feel? Because sometimes we're like, all I want is an apology. All I want is that No. Why? Why? And if that person don't, what do you do about it? Do you move on? Or do you continue to hold on to it? Thank you for coming in. So, are you having issues moving forward? Do you need to get therapy so that you can talk about it with somebody? What are you holding on to that's keeping you in that same space, that won't allow you to elevate and to mature because somebody hindered you? If the person never apologizes, will you be able to move on? Is the situation tormenting you? That situation that has you walking in unforgiveness, is that the only thing that you can think about? I want you to think about that. Is that the only thing that's keeping you from moving? I don't like my boss, so I'm not going to apply for that position because I'm going to be directly under him because he talked a certain way. But you hindering yourself. You're your worst enemy. He's not thinking about you. He's making his money. So you're hindering from you from getting that promotion because you don't like the way he talked to you. Come on, that's too much power. Move forward. Mature. This might just be this person's demeanor. Maybe if you lead by example, he'll change the way he talks. Don't hinder yourself because of unforgiveness. We're dealing with the art of forgiveness. Don't hinder yourself because of unforgiveness. Okay? Let me explain the method to my madness. The reason I started this chapter with an assessment is because I wanted to give you an opportunity to look at yourself. Because a lot of us don't want to do a self-evaluation. And give you something to think about before we jump into the meat of this book. I really wanted to give you something to think about. And this is why I started this with an assessment. Okay? It's so important. Thank you all for joining me. It's so important for us to look in the mirror and be transparent with ourselves, because some of us lie to ourselves. And this is the disclaimer. This book is not for those that do not want to be delivered from unforgiveness. Okay? This book is not for those that do not want to be delivered from unforgiveness. As a matter of fact, this book is not for someone that does not want to deal with their own issues of a hurtful situation that is tormenting them. So I'm giving you the disclaimer. If the book is not for you, if you don't want to deal with your own issues, if you don't want to deal with unforgiveness and you still want to hold the grudge, if you still want to hold on to the past hurt, if you still want to hold on to the childhood trauma, then this book right here is not for you. Okay? The book is designed to heal and to set free those that are suffering with unforgiveness, holding grudges, those that are being tormented, and those that are dealing with soul ties due to repressed residue of their past. So, what is a soul tie? Is a phrase which some people use to refer to a spiritual connection between two people. In many cases, it is said to come into existence after two people has been physically intimate. In others, it is said to form after an intensely close spiritual or emotional relationship. So, that's what a soul tie is. And once again, I ask you, what are you holding on to? What is your unforgiveness? That's what I want you to think about. What is your unforgiveness? What are you really holding on to? So what is unforgiveness? Unforgiveness is when you are unwilling or unable to forgive someone for hurting you, someone for betraying you, someone for breaking your trust, or causing intense emotional pain, and you have suppressed anger. That's what unforgiveness is. Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it will accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Unforgiveness creates an emotional storm of distress in which feelings of stress, anxiety, depression, insecurity, inadequacy, and fear surface. I'm going to read that again. Unforgiveness creates an emotional storm of distress in which feelings of stress, anxiety, depression, insecurity, inadequacy, Jesus, and fear surface. That's what unforgiveness is. Unforgiveness also creates a hardened heart. How many of us is wearing a wall? We built a wall around our heart, and you can literally feel the heaviness of that wall because somebody hurt you. And the hardened heart feels anger, resentment, bitterness, and hatred toward the offender. Look at all these spirits that are being built because of unforgiveness. Hey, Sinette, how you doing? Just because of unforgiveness, all of these spirits are being built around your heart. All of these seeds are being sown in your spirit. And all of them are negative because you didn't want to let some things go. Who, Lord? That is not a way to walk around. So yes or no? Are others determining your day? When you're walking in unforgiveness, you give other people power to determine your day. What you mean? When you change your demeanor, when your attitude change, when your character change, they take you completely out of character. You sweet, you real sweet. And then all of a sudden, you turn into this fireball. And all you want to do is get at this person. They're determining your day. You can't keep that same smile. Your spirit is disturbed. You got all of this adrenaline running through your body. And you just want to scream. You don't even know how to let it go. You're dealing with unforgiveness and somebody is determining your day. Way too much power. Are you out for revenge? Do you want to get revenge against the person that harmed you? Then it's time to change. I am so glad that you can see you. Because that is what this book is designed to do. It is definitely designed to cause you to see you. And like I said in the disclaimer, if you're not ready to deal with your own unforgiveness, if you're not ready to be delivered, then this book is not for you. It's a hard book to deal with. The feedback that I got back when people read this book, they was mad at me after they read this book. And they went back to it because they had to look in the mirror. It was time to mature. It was time to let go of those negative feelings that they were harboring. And look, I couldn't put this out there if I couldn't do it myself. I had to be able to do it myself because I didn't want anybody to have power over me. I didn't want anybody to control my life. I didn't want the next person that I was with to be able to suffer for the past that I dealt with. And I dealt with some stuff. My ex-husband tried to get me arrested. Yes, I got picked up. Yes, I got put in the back of the car. Yes, I had to go to trial. But I couldn't harbor that in my heart. Because guess what? I also realized he had a problem. I also realized that he had a sickness. I also realized that he was not sober. So why would I allow him to control me? I had to move on with my life. And he got me arrested twice. But I fought that thing and I won, and it was thrown out. Because God is a forgiving God. He's a forgiving God. And it's nothing that he won't forgive us for. So who are we to hold on to a grudge? Who are we to say, I'm not letting it go? Why? You did some stuff. It may not have been to that extent, but you have done some stuff to other people. You have hurt somebody. Wouldn't you want to be forgiven? Put yourself in their shoes. The person that you hurt. And you didn't care. And you moved on with your life. And you left them stuck. Is your heart hardened? Think about it. Yes, thank God for the blessings. Is your heart hardened? If your heart is hardened in this season, I pray that you remove the wall, that God tears down the wall piece by piece so that there will be no residue left of that thing. It's time for us to let it go. We went through chapter 1. When I come back again, we're going to go through chapter 2. It might be tomorrow. If you want to get the book, once again, you can get it on Amazon. And you can type in my name, Aquintas Jones. That's Aquintas. Last name Jones. And you will see the books that I have on Amazon. But I want you to really do a self-evaluation. And those of you that are getting something out of this, come back. Come back tomorrow. We need to be delivered in this season so that we can move forward in a positive manner. We are not going to be a byproduct of our environment, of our situation, of our circumstance. No. Our life has purpose. It has destiny. And we got a work to do. So we can't be stagnant. We can't be stuck and consumed and tormented by our hurt and our pain. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Why would you allow something negative to consume you? It's not worth it. Why would you allow something negative to take control of your life? Yes, I understand it may have started from your childhood, but you gotta let it go. And yes, it's hard. And yes, it hurts. But baby, prayer, fasting is the key. Building that intimate relationship with God, casting your cares upon him because he cared for you. He said, no weapon that's formed against you shall prosper. He'll never leave you nor forsake you. He said it was good that you've been afflicted, that you might learn his statutes. It was good that you've been afflicted. But he's come to heal, to save, to set free, and to deliver. So I thank you all. I'm going to get off here because I got to be to work early today. But I thank you all for sticking with me through chapter 1. And I really, really appreciate it. And once again, if you want to read along with me, you can get the book. But I thank God for you. I pray that you are ready to walk through this with me. That you are ready to be delivered from past trauma, from past hurt, from past resentment, from grudges, from unforgiveness. And I loose the filling of the void. In the name of Jesus, I loose love and peace in that place. That all that negativity came out, I loose positivity so that we can move forward in a positive manner. So once again, I thank you. I love you. And let's do this because we got this. So I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.